Зоран Заев е разбран овде како искрен во намерите да се реши овој спор. Но што се случува во Атина? Разговара со европратеникот од СИРИЗА Димитрис Пападимули. Еве го разговара. Mr. Papadimoulis, I'm glad to talk with somebody who is coming from the ruling party in Greece. So would be nice to hear from you what's the mood in Athens about resolving the long-standing problem like it's the name issue with Macedonia.
I think that the new government in your country creates a positive atmosphere, creates a more positive approach for a better relationship between the two neighbor countries. My party was in favor of a compromise and of a mutual accepted solution in the dispute about the name from the very beginning, from the Gligorov period. And so when we're hearing some statements from your governmental officials that there is a window of opportunity to leave behind us nationalistic approaches and to find a path for building a bridge, I think that it's quite positive as a signal. And now we have to work on that, because I think that we have common interests in stabilizing the region.
That's obvious as a neighbor.
Greece, although of that dispute, which is long-standing, as you said, is one of the bigger investors in your country. A lot of people from your country are visiting my country during the summer. I think that in the level of the people,
We have no problem.
We have all the positive ground to find solutions. And I think also that it's an obvious link between our bilateral relations and your European expectations. Because Greece, in the case of a positive scenario in solving our bilateral dispute, could be a bridge for your European orientation.
That's what we are expecting from our neighbor.
Yeah.
But when you are saying mutual, the compromise solution, what do you understand? What do you expect from, what kind of solution you are expecting?
There is an official statement and position of my party and of Tsipras government for an agreed solution in the name dispute and under the auspices of the United Nations, and think that now there is a possibility for a positive restart on that. We have to find clever solutions describing the real situation.
Like, for example?
I do not want to replace my government. I'm an experienced politician. I'm founder of my party. I'm one of the founders of my party. I want to stay in the good spirit for an open discussion to find a mutual accepted solution. And I think that if we see in the map, in the planet, we could find solutions which are working for centuries with a dispute about the name. We have Britain in France and Great Britain in the UK. So I think that Macedonia is a larger geographical area which covers a part of your country, a part of my country, a part of Bulgaria. Also, there is the Greek history about Alexander the Great and other scenarios about that. I think that if we see the future and we are not using the past as as a tool for not finding solution, we will stay with an impasse. If we want to have a positive outcome, we could find solutions, and there are possibilities for such a solution.
There is a willingness in Athens this time to finally resolve this problem?
Yes. Yes, my answer is a clear yes, because Greece is recovering their economy after a deep crisis. And we think that it's important also to work for an enlargement of the European Union towards the direction of our region, -1 with Brexit, but probably plus some other member states in the coming years from our region.
Balkans. Yeah, from the Balkans.
Yes, yes. So I think that solving the dispute about the name, we are preparing the ground. And plus to that, there is an appetite for investments. And investments need stability. And stability could be as a result after a positive outcome of the existing dispute. So I think that it's a win-win situation to have a positive outcome in that debate. And I would like to see also concrete steps from your government.
Like, for example?
Restarting the debate in increasing our relationship in all possible levels. Trade, tourism, cultural cooperation, and also political dialogue. My philosophy is quite clear. If we have a problem, the only way to solve it is with a political dialogue and with a compromise. I'm an engineer.
Mr. Papadimulou,
I built a lot of bridges in my professional career, and also in politics. I want to prepare the ground in order to build bridges.
Yeah. That's a
but
good, nice intention.
Not replacing the government.
Yeah,
I'm not the foreign minister. I'm not the prime minister.
We know that Syriza has no problem with the so-called nationalistic issue. But on the other hand, we know that nationalistic political structure close to the church are not so keen and not, let's say, in a hurry to resolve the name issue. How we can see the big picture in Greece? What's the position of the nationalists? What's the position of the others? Yeah. Let's say pro-European as your party.
I will give you a clear answer, but putting in the map both countries. The nationalism in one country fits the nationalism to the other country. It's a ping pong on that, and we saw that during the period in which the leading party in your country was VMRO. Now we have a government which goes to a path of reducing nationalism. So I'm sure that this reduction of nationalism in your country, we will have also a positive reflection and result also to the reduction of the nationalism in my party. We love our country, and it's obvious that it's the same for you, but it's quite different, the term patriotism, to love your country, instead of nationalism. Nationalist is not the people who loves his country, but who hates the country of the others. And we are not nationalistic. We are a left progressive political force, and I think that having a more open-minded government in your country now, it's a great window of opportunity, not for a blame game, not for going or seeing only to the past, but trying to increase our relationship, our dialogue, and not losing that window of opportunity. There was a period in which some in the European scene was pushing some of your politicians that there is a way for a European orientation of your country or for the membership in NATO without having good relationship with Greece. But it was, it was an illusion. I think that...
Do you think it's a sine qua non condition to resolve the name issue before entry of Macedonia in NATO and starting the negotiation for membership with EU?
I will put it in another way. I think that a solution, an agreed solution, a compromise in the dispute about the name, it will be the best passport for your European orientation and for the membership of your country to NATO. And I think that every rational politician all over Europe understand that Greece could be your best friend in your efforts, but having also an open-minded approach for both sides, not to be good neighbors and not to be neighbors fighting each other in a larger space.
To resume,
yeah.
What's your main concern? It's a geographical division, let's say, of which Macedonia belonged to whom? Or you have some other concerns also?
I do not have concerns. I want to find solutions which is suitable to the geography, to the history, and to the reality. That's all.